What's up, everybody? It is time for the rebirth of KevTalk. That's right, I'm Kevin Gross, and I'm here to talk about, you know what? Let me just tell you how it is now. So, I restructured KevTalk. I started this KevTalk podcast thing probably a couple of years ago, where I didn't know what to do, where I would just, on my drive home from work, I would just talk about random things that popped into my head. And that was a lot of dead air time. Didn't know what I was talking about most of the time. So I rethought about it, came up with an idea, and hopefully it works. So what Kev Talk is now, I'm just going to come up with every episode 5 topics. It can be an assortment of topics. It could be anything from movies to goats to jaguars to headphones to mystical arts to a Chinese prison. Anything is up for grabs here. And we are going to, you know what? We're just going to dive in to our first topic today. And it's going to be on a little serious note, but don't worry, we'll get a little bit lighter later. But that's going to be, we're going to stop with the unnecessary hate in life. One of the big things I've seen here lately, especially on the internet, on Twitter, on Facebook, is that, a lot of people just want to hate. And there's all this built up hate that we have as a society, as a culture, and we've lost the ability to understand how to deal with that hate. And a lot of this hate, steals from, your personal life, expectations in life. And a lot of people take that out on, others that are around them or on the internet. In this case, one of the big things that really popped up to me was the hate against Kelly Marie Tran for playing Rose in Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Going against her, how they hated her character, how they didn't like her, and then calling her, racist and Asian and all that stuff. And it's just completely unnecessary. For one, I think she did a fine job acting. I really enjoyed the character of Rose in Star Wars The Last Jedi. And the fact that she had to quit Twitter or Instagram or whatever it was, because she was getting so much hate over it, is completely ridiculous. Like, we should be, happy for this Asian actress who got a co-leading role in a Star Wars movie, which is so big. It's so crazy. And, we should be happy for people like that. She's not a well-known actor. She's just starting out. I mean, there's tons of support for, Daisy Ridley and John Boyega. And the fact that we bash Kelly Marie Tran for just because we don't like the portrayal of Rose on Star Wars is just ridiculous. And I think that maybe we should take a step back, and if we have something mean to say, maybe think about what we're thinking, and not just bash people like, I hate you, you're a certain race or a certain gender. And think about the root of your problem, and dealing with your own problems, because from what it sounds, a lot of these people, her playing Rose is not your problem. Your problem stems from either your expectations of the movie were too high, or you just have a deep-seated hatred for Asians, possibly. I don't know. But to bash someone on Twitter to where they quit, to where they feel bad for being in a movie, for crying out loud, is ridiculous. And that's happening a lot. Being a white male, I don't get it as much as a woman, but I can see where women daily get treated, unnecessary hate. You're a woman, you should make a sandwich and all that stuff. And we don't live in that kind of society now. We live in a society where, gotta respect women. You gotta really be thoughtful to not only men, not only to women, but to everybody. And that's the point I'm trying to, put across is, we got to be more thoughtful about the world, We got to be more thoughtful about everybody that is sharing this space with us. Because if we're not, we're just going to be in this gigantic civil war, and we're going to tear ourselves to pieces. And then, I mean, what's there really? Then there's no love in the world, you know? And I think that's what we need to strive for as a society, is more love, less hatred, and to be, you know, kinder and caring. In the words of Thomas the Tank, sharing is kind of like caring. Maybe that wasn't Thomas the Tank. I don't know. That was something from my childhood. I can't remember. But yeah, definitely we need to think about, you know, how our actions affect other people. And, you know, I try to do that. I mean, I'm not a perfect saint. I'll tell someone that I don't like to shut up or whatever. But, you know, life's not perfect. But, you know, I feel like there's not enough people trying their hardest. I feel like a lot of people just go on the internet, blow off some steam, and yell at people that they think won't hear. But unfortunately, you know, they do hear. And it does, you know, cause, you know, problems in their life. And, you know, to put your negativity out into the world and make sure other people get it is, you know, I don't think it's the right way to go in life. But, you know, hopefully, you know, my words make a change. I doubt they will, but, you know, just some food for thought, you know, just be good, be kind to one another, and I think this place would be a lot better to live, you know. All right, now we're going to go into our second topic, and that's me being an adult that buys Funko Pops, and it's a very stressful thing. So I am a Funko Pop collector. If you guys don't know what they are, it's the pop culture bobbleheads and vinyls that are basically toys that people collect. And I'm a huge collector. I've been collecting for 2.5 years now, and or maybe 3 years, something like that. I don't know. I've lost a lot of time and money, but I really was stressing out here lately, just for the fact that I can't be a collector and have a full-time job and get the stuff I want without end up paying $90,000 for something I want. So when these certain companies, they get like these special exclusives and everything, to get them online, you have to wake up at midnight or 3 o'clock in the morning in order to beat computer generated bots that people make or buy. I don't know what. I'm not technically advanced in that scenario, but you have to beat these bots in order to get to order online these special Funko Pops that you want. And, you know, as a collector, I like some of these stuff. I don't sell them. I usually just collect them, and, you know, I like to display them because it represents, you know, fandom and geeky culture that I love. I mean, I have a whole shelf full of Star Wars ones. I have half a full shelf of Marvel ones. Like, it just represents stuff that I love in the movie industry, TV industry, and things like that. And so when I see something I like, and then I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, when I have work that morning, is ridiculous. And then if I do miss it, and by the way, you only get like a 10-minute window, which is ridiculous, because how am I supposed to do that? Like, I'm already tired as it is. I gotta start typing numbers super fast, my credit card, and then, you know, it turns out I typed in the wrong number, and then I get an email saying I don't get it, and it makes me mad. But, yeah. And then when you go to the store, you know, so Target, for example, I like to get my Funko Pops at Target. You know, there's apps on the internet that'll tell you, hey, these say that Target has these in stock. So what do? I go to Target. But of course, I don't know what it is. I think I'm a nice guy. But every single Target employee I ask when I don't see it out on the floor, I always get lied to and always like very, very aggressively talked to, where it's like, they're not street dated yet. And then, you know, there's posts on the internet like, hey, I just got this Target exclusive. You should go to your Target and pick it up. Well, it's like, I just tried to, but they told me it wasn't street dated. So then I go in the next day, still saying it's in stock. Hey, can you guys check and see if you guys got this? Because it's not out yet. And then they go, well, we're not allowed to sell to you from the stock room. Really? Because that's funny, because I saw many other people post about it on the internet, but whatever, fine. So, maybe I'll just wait, go in the next day, and what do you got? Oh, sorry, do you have a certain Funko Pop that I'm looking for? Says you have it in stock. Oh, well, I don't think it's the same thing that you're looking for. They share numbers, so I don't think we got it. Like, okay. And then not 3 hours later on the app, it says, oh, nope, your Target's out of stock. Like, oh, that's funny. I just wasted 3 days of transportation to my local Target, which is 20 miles away. And now I got to deal with, gas and being a collector. And I just can't keep doing that because it is not feasible and I'm losing money. And I guess, that's the life of a collector. But I really don't like that kind of stuff. And it's just a big headache, But I mean, I love collecting, but there's got to be an easier way. Without me having to go on eBay and spending $90,000 on a Captain America that I could have bought for $11.99 at my local Target. But no, Target wants to be jerks, so I guess that's my life right now. Strong with the force, you are. Ooh. Alright, so, on to the next category. One of my favorite fast food places is Taco Bell. And one of my very first videos that I did on my YouTube channel was a fast food frenzy, which is basically my sister videotaping me going to Taco Bell and ordering Taco Bell. That being said, I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell is probably my go-to fast food restaurant over anything. It's got so much deliciousness in every bite. It's got a variety of things you can get, even though basically it's all the same stuff as in tortilla, beef, cheese. I mean, that's pretty much it on everything. But, I mean, they're all different from the taste, and it's all enjoyable. And they got Baja Blast Mountain Dew, which is delicious. But so I'm going to tell you, like my go-to orders for Taco Bell, okay? So, when I was a kid, I didn't like fancy stuff. Like, and still to this day, like, I'm not a big, put, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, cheese, pickles, relish, onion. I don't like all that stuff. I'm more simple. Give me the taste of what I'm trying to eat. Don't put condiments and all that crap on it. So, my first go-to order is always 3 soft tacos, with no lettuce, though. Because if you get lettuce on your taco from Taco Bell, I will admit the lettuce is very weak. And it's not very strong, and I don't like it on my taco. It tastes like garbage, and it really ruins the flavor of the beef and cheese that you get from the soft taco. So, 3 soft tacos, no lettuce. Then you get a side order of rice. Because rice is delicious. I've always been a rice advocate for my entire life, and I always just rice. There's nothing better than rice. I could eat a bowl of rice every day till I die. But yeah, so you get that, and now the nacho fries. I'm one of those people that loves nacho fries. I don't know about anybody else, but the fry and the nacho cheese is so delicious. I will say that my North Vernon Taco Bell does not cook their fries the way a fry should be cooked. And it's like a soggy potato. But you know what? I deal with it, and I find some pleasure in it. So that's usually my first go-to. Then if it's like, oh, I just had that, my second go-to is enchilada, no beans. Now, for those of you who don't know what an enchilada is, think of a Taco Bell version of an enchilada. Because that's what it is. You got your meat, your tortilla, your enchilada sauce, which is not like the fire sauce, not like any other sauce they got. The enchilada sauce is delicious. And then they got nice cheese on top, which is basically just their normal cheese. But I think that is delicious. And then you go no beans. Now, me personally, I'm not a refried bean guy. Now, if I eat like homemade burritos and stuff like that, or homemade tacos, I'll put a little bit of refried beans on the bottom, but not too much. But when it comes to my Taco Bell, no beans. Because what happens is they'll just load you up on beans, and it's like I'm eating a bean sandwich, which is gross, and I don't want that. So, you get the enchilada, no beans. Then again, you go with some rice. Nothing wrong with rice, and then you get soft taco, no lettuce. That way you still get the comfort of the soft taco, no lettuce. Soft taco, no lettuce is the staple of Taco Bell for me. I have to get at least something soft taco, no lettuce. If I don't get a soft taco, no lettuce, then I'm not gonna have a good time. So there's that order. Then, if I don't feel like having an enchilada, I will go with a Mexican pizza with no beans. Again, no beans because I'm not much of a bean person. The Mexican pizza is such a delicious, sideways turn from, what you normally get at Taco Bell because it's in pizza form. And so you got your bottom tortilla, you got your beef, then you get your top tortilla, and then they put cheese, they put tomatoes, they put just delicious, like the sauce. It's like a salsa sauce. I don't know what it is, but it's delicious. And it's a pretty decent sized thing. So you get that. You get one soft taco, no lettuce, because again, staple. And then you get some rice. And you can't go wrong with that. And then the last one. The last order that I go to is a beefy nacho griller, which is like it's a beef with like quesadilla sauce, and then like these like Frito bits, kind of nacho bits inside, and it's delicious. And then they grill it. Although there for a while I had to stop eating them because the Taco Bell in North Vernon seemed to have like not clean out their griller, and every time I ate it, it tasted like a dirty foot. So it kind of steered me away from beefy nacho grillers for a while. But here lately, I've been getting them, and they're fine. So thank God for that. But yeah, definitely delicious. And it's $1.49, and you can't beat that. You just can't. So you get that. You get a couple soft tacos, no lettuce. You get your rice. You get your nacho fries. So those are the Taco Bell orders. You can go in the comments, give me your Taco Bell order. See if you agree about the no bean policy. That's my take, because it seems like the Gross family is like the only one with the no bean policy. But I'm curious out there who thinks beans should be a thing. All right, so number 4, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite wrestlers in the past, like from WCW. Growing up, I wasn't much of a WWE guy, mostly for the fact that my mom and dad wouldn't let me watch it, because they think it was too risque, too many, because I think that was the time where, like, Trish Stratus was showing her boobs, and Tori Wilson was showing her boobs, and all that stuff. Now, Tori Wilson, hey, now, if we're talking about favorite female wrestlers, Tori Wilson is like golden age. Like, she is my top diva. Like, she's like the woman I aspired to marry. Kind of like, oh, so awesome. Anyway, so I digress on that. But no, so favorite wrestlers, I have to go with one of them is Kevin Nash, one of the outsiders, as you will, came into the WCW and created the NWO, which was one of the best factions in history. I say better than DX. I say better than Evolution. Better than like whatever TNA did with Kevin Nash, like New Age Mafia or whatever it was. Mafia Town. I don't know. TNA was great in like 2005, and then it just got stupid. Once they started adding all the old WCW people, then it started getting stupid. But yeah, definitely Kevin Nash. I loved his moves. I loved his big boot kick, and then jackknife powerbomb. The jackknife powerbomb is one of those moves where you don't ever see the powerbomb anymore. It's very rarely used, from what I've seen in wrestling recently. uh, and it's just a move of so much power. And Kevin Nash was able to, because he was 7 foot tall, so he was able to deliver that power, just ram you right into the ground. The jackknife power bomb, nothing can beat that. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Definitely one of my favorite moves. Yeah. So, and I always loved his battles he had with Goldberg and Scott Steiner. I really enjoyed those. The next wrestler is Sting, or Steve Warden. Um, yeah, Sting is one of those people where I love how he was very, for the business. Especially not going to WWE, because WWE, he didn't like Vince McMahon and all that stuff till the very end. I guess he ran out of money or whatever. But also I don't like, just to fast forward, when he faced Triple H at WrestleMania, I really hate how WWE was like, suck it, WCW. We're not going to let Sting win here at WrestleMania. I thought that was a very douchey move. I thought maybe, you know what, Sting, a legend, an icon, you give him that WrestleMania victory. He deserves it. But yeah, so growing up, he was the face of WCW. He was the one that went against NWO. He was the one that, he was like the people's wrestler. He didn't take any shit from, anybody. And he was a badass with a bat and painted like crow makeup. Like, it was just so crazy. And even when he was a surfer dude paint, like, it was so awesome. And I love his moves. It's basically the figure four leg lock, or not the figure four leg lock, the sharpshooter. Called it the Scorpion Death Lock. And then the Scorpion Death Drop, which is a backwards DDT. And then I love Stinger Splash, where you throw him in the corner and then you just run and jump on him. Oh, just so great, so great. Yeah, and just his music. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, so yeah, I would say those two are my favorite wrestlers. I like Goldberg, but Goldberg was more my brother's favorite. I like Disco Inferno. For those of you who don't know, it was a disco guy who wrestled, and he had flashy pants. He was stupid, but I loved him. That's all I can remember from him. I don't think he won matches. He might have won TV titles and maybe USA title. But definitely like Disco Inferno. And then when I got into WWE for like early 2000s, I mean, how can you not like John Cena at the time? He was a rising star. Rey Mysterio was always a classic. Even when he was in WCW and he didn't have the mask, I really enjoyed him. I used to play him a lot when I played WCW Mayhem on the N64. Billy Kidman, really enjoyed. Trying to think of others. Bobby Lashley. I know he's in WWE now. I haven't watched anything of him recently, but when he came on the scene, I think it was later 2000s. Oh man, that dude just dominated. Yeah, I think those are pretty much my favorites. Yeah, I mean, Scott Hall, obviously, but I don't like the tail part of his career. He kind of ruined it with drugs and everything. But, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. Oh, and that reminds me, if you guys haven't seen Ready to Rumble with David Arquette and Sean William Scott, or not Sean William Scott, Scott Conn, definitely watch that movie. It is that mixed with... those two mixed with wrestling, and it is my guilty pleasure. And I mean, it's because I'm a WCW guy, but definitely a movie that if you like wrestling, you'll enjoy the cheesiness of it. It even has Mean Gene Okerlund, so I mean, what can you go wrong with that? Alright, so we're going to come to the last topic of the day, and that is, why haven't we been to the moon a second time? Think about it. We went to the moon, what, in the 60s, 50s, 70s? I don't know. But we have not gone to the moon since Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong went. So, that in my head kind of plays to the conspiracy theory that maybe the moon landing was fake. Because I highly doubt that they went to the moon, went around the moon with the rover, and witnessed all there was to the moon. I feel like if we're going to do in-depth looking into if there's life outside of Earth, I think we need to really look at what our closest option is and what we've proven to be to in order to expand like to Mars or something like that. I think we need to really take in-depth look at the moon. Why is it, not, containing water? Why is there nobody on there? Like we need to know all these things that, yeah, we can look through a telescope and all that. But I mean, I feel like we need to do more research on the moon that we're just not doing. And like I said, the conspiracy theory that it was shot on a movie stage, that's one of those things where it makes it kind of plausible. Like, when you think if we made this grand kind of space exploration and we went to the moon, you think that we as humans would go back there? Like, it doesn't make any sense why we wouldn't. So, it's just some thought, I don't think it was a conspiracy theory, but us not going definitely plays into the fact that, hey, this was just to, stop the Russians from beating us. Kind of a one-time thing, and then we'll move on. And I understand that it's very pricey and it's very expensive and all that. But when they did it, I mean, they didn't have the technology that we do now. And I feel like there's so much to learn up there. And just for Christ's sake, just take a camera up there and take pictures of Earth just to make them beautiful, see some beautiful shots. That'd be worth it. But I think scientifically, we haven't gotten all the information that there's to be had from going to the moon, but definitely something to think about. Alright, so guys, that's going to finish up the rebirth episode of KevTalk. Definitely thank you guys for listening. I appreciate just hanging out with you on all these topics I talked to today. Definitely comment, let me know what you're thinking. Tweet at me at Kevin T. Gross. If you're my friend on Facebook, definitely talk to me there. We could all use more friends, and I appreciate you guys listening. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. This is the dark side.